Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. Shout out to the BTM mob. Let's go. And happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And looks like XRP is pumping and starting to separate away from Bitcoin, like I told you it would. I hate to be the I told you so guy, but all you got to do is be patient and continue to hold. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit your main man up with a super chat if you feel inclined to. Just trying to keep the lights on here on the BTM Crypto News Network. So thanks for joining. Let's start the screen share and see what we can see. Turn on that spotlight. So this is the XRP news, and this is the sponsor. Shout out to Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown has been sponsoring the BTM Crypto News Network. Appreciate these guys. If you use my link in the description, you can sign up, and I think you get 5% off your sign up. But if you're new to crypto and you're interested in getting into XRP or picking up some crypto or get in the market, I would recommend you use something like Caleb and Brown, because they do self-custody your crypto, so you're not out here on your own. And they also help you with brokering. They give you a broker personal assigned to you, so they kind of know what you want, what you're looking for, and can help you on your crypto journey. So you don't have to re-explain every time you call in. And speaking of calling in, they have 24/7 human support. So if you're worried about your crypto, you have a problem, or if you just want to talk about crypto, they do have a 24/7 actual person that answers the phone. You're not going to get the automated system, the IVR, or somebody that just picking the phone up to route it. You actually talk to somebody and go from there. What up, Silver Days? What's going on? BTM mob, let's go. What's up, BTM? Smash the like and subscribe. Thank you, Silver Days. And thanks for joining. Go ahead and smash that like button so we can get started. So moving forward, this is the crypto bubbles. What up, Ocean Coffee? Yes, ZBCN's pumping like crazy. You see it up 32.4%. I'm not going to keep saying I told you so, but just remember to diamond hand, guys. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hit your main man, BTM, up with a super chat. Or you could hit me up on Cash App. Either way, just trying to help you guys in your crypto journey. But as mentioned, Bitcoin, I don't have crypto.com open. Bitcoin would separate from the altcoins. I think we've been talking about that. At some point, the altcoins would have to go crazy and Bitcoin would have to come down. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Do you think we're finally getting some separation between Bitcoin and the altcoins? Still have a long way to go, but let me know what you guys think. Trying to log in here. Oh man, get this set up. But on to the bubbles. So as you can see, different from yesterday. I wish I could take a screenshot or I had a screenshot from most of this week until today. So you can actually see that crazy price swing within the last day or so, because things got crazy. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think we're going to continue to pump, or do you think this is a dead cat bounce, or do you think this is just a pump that's trying to get folks back in the market so they can dump? Nero's up 8.3, Swarm's up 1.4, Satoshi's is up 5.4. XDC is up 18%. I hope you guys picked these up while they were down. I know I picked up as much as I could last night. Hash flows up 8.4. Stronghold, you guys been swearing by Stronghold. I'm glad I grabbed that. Up 23.6 today, up 5.7 on the hour. Still down 3.7, 3.5 on the week. Down 29.3 on the month, but down 49.7 for the year. So you're still probably going to make a couple of bucks. Radium's up 3.8. Again, it's not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. Monero's up 2.6. Theta's up 9.4. AIOZ's up 20.8. XPR's up 9.2. Algorand's up 7.8. Caspa's up 14% today, up 1.5 on the hour, down 13.6 on the week, down 34.6 for the month, and down 63.5 on the year. PIT is up 10.7. H-bar, somebody else mentioned H-bar is up 16.7. I'm glad you mentioned that because I picked it up. Down 0.1 on the hour, down 3.8 on the week, down 23.9 on the month, and down 60.4 on the year. Ethereum Classics up 5.4. Flux is up 6.9. PIT is up 1.4. Safe is up 2.6. POW's up 31.2. Nexo's up 12.2. ZK's up 15%. Injective is up 6.9. Prime's up 5.4. Chrono, somebody mentioned that as well, is up 8% on the day, 0.3 on the hour, 3.1 on the week, 23.5 down on the month, and 21.3 down for the year. CVX is up 6.7, not CVS, not the pharmacy, but CVX. Bitcoin SV is up 13.5. FET's up 7.7. Telecoin is up 20.6 on the day, 1.2 on the hour, down 2.8 on the week, down 21.6 on the month, and down 55.4 on the year. Osmosis is down up 3.7. IAXB is up. That's weird. Why is this? 1.3 on the day. That's weird. When they start doing that, it's weird. Filecoin is up 4.1. Litecoin's up 4.3. Render is up 9.7. XLM is up 10.3. World Mobile Token is up 3.7 on the day, 2.2 on the hour, down 4.2 on the week, up 23.1 on the month, and down 69.9 on the year. Definitely worth watching. XLM is down or up 19.6 on the day, 2.4 on the hour, down 6.6 on the week, down 38.5 on the month, and down 80.7 on the year. Alchemy Pay is up 5.9. Sui's up 6.9. Jasmine is up 14.4. down 0.1 on the hour, down 5.3 on the week, down 23.3 on the month, and down 74.2 on the year. Plenty of room to grow there. Gala's up 5.6. Casper is up 5.5 on the day, down 0.6 on the hour, down 16.1 on the week, down 31.2 on the month, and down 71.8 on the year. Bear is up 10.1. Gala's up 5.6. Link is up 5.5. Zcash finally bounced back to up 11.3 on the day, down 2.6 on the hour, down 26% on the week, down 49.7 on the month, and up 651 on the year. Interesting. Canton Network is up 6.4 on the day, down 0.3 on the hour, up 1.3 on the week, and up 28.3 on the month. Helium is up 13%. Qual Network is volatile, is up 25.4 on the day. Metals up 8%. OK, B's up 1.9. Bitcoin Clash is up 3.5. Lithium is up 2.8. Near's up 2.6. BitTensor Tau is up 4.1 on the day, down 0.7 on the hour, down 16.8 on the week, down 35.7 on the month, and down 50.1 on the year. AVAC is up 3.5. Jupiter is up 0.5 on the day. Arbitron's up 4.3. Dash is up 6.7. Cosmos Atom is up 5.3. ZBC ends up 31.8 on the day, down 3.5 on the hour, down 15.4 on the week, down 26.5 on the month, but for the years up 150% at the 0021. Solana is up 3% on the day. It's under $100. I'll definitely be picking that up if you got some spare powder laying around. But that's not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. For the hour, it's down 1.7. For the week, it is down 26%. For the month, it is down 31. And for the year, it's down 56.4. And I mentioned the market will bounce back, people. Just be patient. Over to the big boys. Bitcoin is at 69,825, up 5.1 on the day, down 0.2 on the hour, down 15.3 on the week, down 23.7 on the month, and down 27.7 on the year. Just looking for Ethereum. No, look, he just saw it. That's weird. Okay, here we go. Ethereum is up 3.7 on the day, down 0.5 on the hour, down 24% on the week. That's weird, an even number. Down 35.6 on the month, and down 27% on the year to 2,035. So it's back in the 2,000 range, which is definitely good. And now for our, what we're looking for, favorite cross-border processor, the main remittance of the cryptocurrency, the undoubted ACH cross-border processor of the future. XRP is up 17.1% to $1.46. Hope you guys got some when it was down to $1.14. Down 1.9 on the hour, down 15.5 on the week, down 35.3 on the month, and down 38.4 on the year. And I mentioned there's too many announcements coming down, right? These guys are doing too many deals to stay down. I don't care what the rest of the market's doing. These guys are going to continue to push, right? All these announcements, all these partnerships, all of these new partnerships with like CD and the update with them tokenizing diamonds and looking to tokenize gold and oil. These guys got a pump. And keep in mind, right, this is institutional money that caused this pump. Let's be real, guys. This kind of volume has to be institutions. And the crazy thing is, these guys pull their money out to create the pump. If you follow the crypto market, you know how it goes. These guys manipulate the heck out of the market to keep people out, right? To get people to sell. And I'm sure a lot of people sold, and that's what they wanted. And then as soon as they got their number, they started slowly pumping it back, right? So now they're creating some FOMO, right? After the fear, uncertainty, and doubt setting in, people sold. Now they're creating FOMO to get people back in, and they're going to buy probably at the same price or higher than they sold, right? So they're actually going to make money if you buy at the same price you sold it or higher, right? And these guys are, it might even be the exchanges. I haven't quite figured out. I'm going to start looking through transactions. I did have a, what was that? Software that kind of helped with that, but I haven't been crazy busy lately, so I never got a chance to actually do any research. Let me see, is this right? It's this platform, but I haven't really done much with it. I was on it previously, but I never got a chance to actually research for real where the volume is coming from or where it came from. But we can try that at some point. Why is this? Let's see, is there XRP on here? Oh yeah, this is actually individuals, so we got to get and play around with it, kind of understand how it works. But moving forward, this is the actual article. XRP's explosive 24% rally. Why money could move from tickers to terminals. The cryptocurrency market might caught a massive second wind this Thursday, and XRP is one of the leading the charge in a dramatic reversal that may have caught many by surprise. XRP surged by a staggering 24% within a single 24-hour window, hitting local high of $1.52. This rally marks the asset's most explosive single-day gain since the end of 2024. Say what? Effectively reclaiming territory that many skeptics thought was out of reach for the season. While the rest of the market watched the charts turn deep shades of green, the underlying mechanisms of the rally revealed a frantic scramble among traders to keep up with the breakneck pace. So basically, when it started to pump, folks FOMO, like I told you they would, right? As soon as that price got over the red mark, right, folks started FOMOing in because they thought they were going to miss something. And it keeps pumping, and it's probably going to keep pumping through the weekend. All of a sudden, this sudden vertical move triggered a massive squeeze in derivative markets, leading to the liquidation of over 47 million in XRP shorts. I don't know who was shorting it, but yeah, essentially wiping out bets from traders who were convinced the price would stay down. across the total crypto landscape, liquidation surpassed 1.4 billion. So think about it. Who stands to benefit the most from shorts being liquidated, right? These guys drove the price down, tried to convince leverage traders it would stay down, and then it reversed, right? It's got to be the same money they pulled out. They just threw it back in there and wiped out short positions, right? They probably all got together and put in long positions and realized since the shorts were so deep, let's pump it, right? Let's pump the market and squeeze these shorts all the way out and make 1.4 billion. Were flushed out by sheer momentum of buyers. Trading volume for XRP didn't just grow, it exploded, surged by 57% to top 11 billion in daily returns, right? So somebody made out like a fat rat. Meanwhile, the fear and greed index, which has been lingering in the basement for weeks, shot back up to greed zone, currently sitting at 78 as FOMO, fear of missing out, starts to grip the retail participants once again. So let's go over and look at that. It's weird. This is extreme fear. That's weird. Shouldn't be in greed. So for the market, we're at 2.38 trillion, up 5.0%. Coin market cap's 20 is $143.85, up 5.38. And fear and greed is extreme fear, which is something not right there. Altcoin seasons 24, it came back down to 30 yesterday, and average crypto RSI is 48.06, almost at 50%. Let's check this fear and greed because I'm kind of wondering why it's in extreme fear. Yesterday was extreme fear. Last week it was in fear. Last month it was neutral. And today it is in extreme fear. So while we're here, XRP is $1.46, up 18.7 on the day. 24-hour trading volume is, or market cap is 89.4 billion, up 18.77%. And 24-hour trading volume is 14.31, up 68.8%. Let's go. Sometimes you can tell a lot about the project by how it talks about the future, not just its shipping today. For some reason, I don't think this is about, of course not. I hate when they post stuff it's not even about. XRP rose 18% after Ripple announced its expansion into the DeFi segment. The developers of Ripple and XRP Ledger, XRPL, presented a plan to introduce new DeFi options to the network, increasing utilities of the native token as an intermediary and settlement asset. XRP responded with growth, and that was Wednesday, actually. I think we did a video on that about the expanding the market. I've seen this pattern before when everybody's glued to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Red candle rotations usually start under the radar. That's exactly how it feels with XRP right now. No hype, no noise, just steadily inflows while the rest of the market panics. Personally, I'm not chasing pumps in this kind of environment. I've been focused more on rotational plays and positioning early, especially when the ETF flows tells a different story than crypto sentiment. Most people react to the price. Institutions react to flows. Markets trembling doesn't always mean risk off. It often means risk reallocating. And right now, XRP seems to be on the receiving end of that shift. And I wish I could read this, but we're going to look at the ETFs anyway. So that's not a big deal. Let's see, I guess we'll go to the bubbles. Tripping. We'll look at the trading view real quick. On the trading view on the 2 hours, looks like we are building volume, very bullish on the 2 hour. RSI is 55.3. RSI base moving average is 37.5. So we're well above the average, and we look to be very bullish here. And you can see the green candles there on the 2 hour. Looks like it's pulling back a little bit. We'll look at the 45 minutes. 45 minutes got some red candles. RSI is 51.5. RSI base moving average is 66.7. Still bullish on the 45-minute and building volume. Going over to the 15-minute. 15-minute, we're losing volume, kind of bearish. RSI is at 50.52. RSI based moving average is 66.7. And there are several red candles on the 15-minute. RSI is down at 33.5 on the 5-minute. And we're looking bearish on the 5-minute. We're losing volume. A couple of red candles here. I think there might be some selling happening. Just want to look at the day chart. So it looks like the last time we were here, I'm tripping, was November 24. Is that right? Yeah. So we were at the 40. What is this? $1.40 in November. What is this? 70 cents under a dollar is, yeah, November 2 years ago, actually. And then from here, we were steady for a long part under a dollar. So I thought it was going to go down, but looks like we bounced somewhere at the $1.14 $1.13 level. Where did this get to? Yeah, $1.14. It started to come back. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think the bottom is in, or is this a fake out? Let me know in the comments. Somebody, everybody, anybody. Look at the hour chart. Go back to the main page. Actually, we need to finish the article. Even with price skyrocketing, institutional players are now showing more calculated form of interest. Data from US-based XRP ETFs show a steady inflow of 6.9 million today, suggesting that while retail is chasing a pump, larger funds are viewing this move as validation for long-term value. However, for a growing segment of intermediate investors, the thrill of the green candle isn't enough to mark the inherent risk of spot trading. Many are looking at the volatility and deciding that instead of betting on where the price stops, they'd rather own the hardware that makes the token possible. The shift has brought cloud mining platforms back into the spotlight, unlike the high stakes game of trying to time the market. Cloud mining operations on a different frequency entirely, allows participants to tap into actual computing power of the blockchain, earning rewards based on the network participation rather than an erratic price adoption. When the price of XRP or Bitcoin goes up, the value of these rewards earned through mining naturally increases, but the infrastructure first approach provides necessary buffer against the sudden heart-stopping pullback that often follows the massive surge. The mistake people make in the bull run is thinking that they have to be a day trader to win. Sarah Jenkins, a lead strategist at Fort Minor. We've been seeing it now is a migration towards compilation yields. When the market is this active, the demand for hash power is through the roof. Savvy investors are realizing that and renting hardware via cloud mining is such a more sustainable way to capture the upside without 24-hour stress of watching the ticker. So that's interesting. Going over to X. So actually, we'll look at the numbers. So this is, sorry about that, I was eating real quick. This is the XRP radar. Total supply is 100 billion XRP. 34.1 is in escrow. 34.1 billion, oh man, is in escrow. 65.8 is circulating. 14.3 is burned. 1.49 billion is in RL USD stablecoin. Exchanges hold 14.2 billion. ETF number jumped to 780.8 million. ETF index DeFi and AMM is 233 million. Tokenized RWA is 413, and the Treasury is 520.9 million. So we'll see here. Upbit is still holding 37.4%, is up 29.6 million, which is 0.54%. They're largest holders of XRP on exchange. Binance is down 1.9 million, 16.3%. Oh wow, Bithome is down 7.8 million to 13%. Uphold is down 3.1 million to 11.6%. And Bybit's down 51,000 to 4%. Keeping it moving, the ETF terminal is 26.5 million in daily spot volume. Wow. Leverage trading volume is 50.62, which is almost twice the amount of spot. So I guess a lot of people are leverage trading. And this is the first time all week this has been green. So Bitwise ETF is up 27.4% to $16.76. 12.7 million 24-hour volume. Canary Capital is up 27.58% to $15.92. 6.7 mil won in 24-hour volume. Franklin Templeton is up 26.87 to $16.32 at 4.15 million. Grayscale is up 26.5% to $28.81, 2.25 million. Rex Offspray's up 26.03% to $12.25. I'm glad I picked these up when it was down because it's pumping now. Came down for us to pick it up. The total is 688,000. 24 shares is up 25.06 to $14.76 with 69,000 24-hour trading volume. Just trying to see real quick. Looks like Bitwise is the big winner. I need to make a note. Am I holding Bitwise as an ETF? I know I got Canary and Grayscale, but do I have Bitwise? XRP, that's weird. What up, Dave? What's going on with your fam? Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. You can hit me on Cash App as well. I'm getting a pretty good amount of Cash Apps, actually. So appreciate you guys for that. And I have been moving that back over to crypto and putting it back in the cold storage. So appreciate that. Trying to help your boy keep the lights on. So this is the leverage market. Volatility shares is up 50.85% to 2.67. I need to figure out how to leverage trade. Turcom X is up 51.6 to $5.14. Pro shares is up 50.77 to $4.90. Volatility shares is up 26.03 to $8.57. And Amplify 3% is up 24% to $16.74. Moving on, this is the RWA XYZ for the XRP ledger. XRP ledger is up. Is this right? Let me make sure we got the fresh numbers here. XRP ledger for the month is up. XRPL, actually. The XRPL is decentralized layer one blockchain, renowned decade-long reliability, stability, and tokenization and exchange. Crypto native real-world assets designed to support builders and powering XRP. So for the month, they are up 8.01%. Represented values is 1.45 billion, up 275.49 on the month. Stablecoin market is 422.8 million, up 18.18. And let me double check something here. So what did they say? They said, yeah, trying to see if these numbers match. This guy and this guy. So it says 1.49 billion, 1.5 billion. RWA holders is 23 to up 76.92% on the month. Stable coin holders is 30,000, up 1.79. RWA transfer volume is down 90.69% on the month. And stablecoin 3-day transfer is 1.22 billion, up 50.26%. And it looks like RLUSD is up 18% on the month. Zirconi is up 75.36. Can we sort by? Yeah, okay. Actually, Brazazo? What the freak is that? Crypto is up 38.1. I need to check that out as well. A lot of research we got to get going on. And these guys are driving me crazy with this every time, man. Why do we got to keep logging back in every time? Why don't we keep getting locked? What is going on? What is going on? X. Why the drama? See if we can close some of these out. Keep that open so I want to come back and research. We need to get this article before we close this out. But let me know, do you guys think the bottom is in for XRP? Where are we at, guys? Let me know in the chat. Close that out. So this is XRP, and I didn't even see this yesterday. We'll go over to the channel. Make sure you tap into the BTM Crypto News Network. I see the numbers are going up, so I must be doing something right. But thanks for your support, and thanks for you to continue to support BTM and help me keep the lights on here on the BTM Crypto News Network. What up, Dave? What up, Silver Days? Thanks for joining. Where were we? So this is XRP just hit the most oversold level ever. What happened next? XRP holders are welcome back. In this video, we're diving into the latest XRP news and discussions. While XRP is currently in its most oversold level, we'll explore unprecedented XRP price drop, conduct an in-depth XRP analysis, RSI indicator, and provide XRP updates that consider the broader crypto market. Welcome to the channel. So let's see what he's talking about.
Let's talk about let's
see what's going on here.
XRP level that we have never seen in the history of XRP. I'm going to break this down for you guys here in this video. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark, for those of you that do not know. And we're going to be talking crypto for the next 5 to 6 minutes. And I do appreciate if you guys stick around to the end of this video. Also, be sure to subscribe down below, like this video. If you want to see more cool stuff like this and get the discussion going, please be sure to give me a follow on X as well. And as you guys are following along, I will remind you, I am affiliated with BitUnix. If you do want to trade with me on that platform, there will be a link down below in the description, where right now, just hours left with the campaign that they are currently running, where you get up to 2,000 USDT. So if you are a spot leverage trader, sign up, deposit, start trading. Just make sure it's right for you geographically, where you're located, and make sure you do all of your research and due diligence, as this is not financial advice. Okay. But as we get into this XRP discussion, let's kind of hit on the fact that despite all of the sell-off that we have seen, where Bitcoin was down below 65,000, Ethereum still down below 2,000, and XRP hitting levels that we haven't seen in quite some time. Never would I ever have thought that we may potentially even see a price for XRP down below $1 ever again. But now it's what we're looking at, okay? And this is a nice uptick on the day, moving up one spot in market cap, up 17.1%. A lot of you guys out there saying, oh, well, whoop-de-doo, because we are down almost 30% over the last month, as we have fallen down from $2.20. And it's been one of those years where we did see the all-time high. We saw XRP kind of spread its wings, get all the momentum in the world, but then still we have fallen flat on our face, looking at now the price level that XRP currently trades at $1.53, okay? So who knows, all right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I have a genie in a bottle, the crystal ball that everybody does want in crypto, and I'm going to look you in the eyes and say, hey, this is the bottom for XRP, okay? I'm not like that. That's not where you're going to get, the cheerleader approach here on this channel. There's a lot of people out there saying right now, buy the dip, biggest mistake of your life, not to buy the dip, okay? Maybe. But I think everybody has to do what's best for them financially, and everybody does have different risk tolerances. However, the one thing I will say in that light, and this is just me and what I'm doing, as we do approach some of these historically low levels for XRP, I will pull up the trading view, because I do think it is relevant as we dive into kind of what XRP is doing. And this is where we're going to look into the full chart for XRP. Now, these are weekly candles, okay? And I know that's a rounded top. I know exactly what this looks like after seeing this massive explosion back in the fall of 2024, okay? this is kind of the all-time high chart, or the all-time lifespan chart of XRP. Now, I will remind you, as we do look at this, it is kind of different than most cryptos, right? It's not really a steady, slow, organic uptrend. There have been very high periods of explosion, but still a lot of volatility as well, as we do see a lot of these sharp, vibrant red candles that do take us into the negative direction. But I will say, if you do stack this up against Bitcoin and you do look at the trajectory for crypto since 2017, it is something that does give you promise, because we continually try to move up and onward. Okay. So for all the silver linings out there, the one thing I will tell you guys is this is just basically a window that does look at 2020, roughly to 2026 in present day. So it's about 5 to 6 years of trading activity. Okay. This is not the end all be all. In 20 years, this could look like a meme coin, where you have that huge volatile cluster in the first few weeks of trading. And relative to XRP and their lifespan, they're trying to not just fade out. They're trying to be here for the next 5 to 10 years and beyond. So this could be the very small cluster at the beginning of any crypto's life cycle. And we're just kind of all making a big deal out of nothing, because on that silver lining, we could still be extremely, extremely early. And this would all just kind of look like something like a blip in the past if we were zooming out, looking at XRP down the road. But all things considered, in the short term, that's not where we're at, and it is doom and gloom. And we're going to be talking about this historical level, because XRP is still above $1, okay, but is still sitting at the most oversold period in its life cycle at the 1 day, 1 week, and the monthly charts. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's get into the conversation. For context, we have seen over $369 billion in global sell-offs. That's the largest weekly loss since March of 2025. XRP has lost over $18 billion in market value over the past week. And this is where we've seen, 20% just in that period alone into the red direction, that we've dipped down into the $40s. Okay. And this is something, as we do look at the biggest sell-off, we have to kind of take it in consideration. I think when you look at this all-time chart and you kind of zoom in a little bit and look at the weeks that we have had before this, yes, we were kind of in this steady downtrend since July of 2025. But what got us there? Okay, we had insane amounts of run. Okay, yes, it does look horrible. Yes, I wish I would have shorted it. Yeah, I'm not ashamed to say that. Make your money, whichever direction that does take you to do so. All right, but I do think this is something where since November of 2024, XRP has been on the most insane bullish run, and I would not be shocked if we found our way back to $1. We did kind of wick down there at times, where we did drop to $1.12, and I think that as we take that into consideration, it's kind of positive to see this rebound ahead of the weekend. If I was going to give you my personal opinion, there's more pain out there, okay? But every down has an up. For every bottom, there's a top. And if you are a crypto trader, this is what you welcomed with open arms, right? Nobody complains when we have the inverse of this chart. If I could flip this over on its head and show you guys the inverse, everybody would be ecstatic. There'd probably be 1,000 more views to this video. People will be running to the window, buying more XRP, but nothing changes in our direction and our trajectory of what we're looking at, right? If you bought XRP at $3, it should be the same mindset right now in 2026 in February, on February 6th, that right now that nothing has changed. It's the global macro headwinds. And I think that the smart money and pretty much all of the rich people, the wealthy out there, that I have seen some short form content, some huge discussions, I will tell you, they're not hurting. Okay. They are not over leveraged in crypto positions. They're, stacking real estate. They're doing what all you should be doing in that position of wealth. But the one difference is between, I think, the people of wealth and the people that are just relying on crypto to get out of the 9-to-5 drag. They're trying to save their life and use crypto as a get rich quick kind of scheme. That's kind of where you see the different mindset. Okay. They're selling and the wealthy's buying. Okay. And as I do want to get further into this article, this is kind of where we see these extreme readings within the charts that possibly selling pressure could be coming close to an end. Okay. The one kind of commonality, and it's common sense, honestly, within any kind of trading, is that it's a horrible idea to try to time the top and the bottom. Okay. And if we do look at the chart and I do apply my trading indicator, Okay, this is where we're still showing momentum down, and I think we've had momentum up running since November of 2024 on the weekly, and now we did flash momentum down at around $2 and some change back there on December 15th. Okay, so getting a little bit ahead of it. If you were using something along these lines of the trading indicator and just basically using this as buy and sell signals on a weekly time frame, still that was a 2x plus trade just amongst a 413-day time frame. Now, for all the doom and gloom out there in the market, I challenge anybody out there in a little bit more so than a year, less than a year and a half time frame, which assets out there, digital or traditional, have you been able to have 2 to 2.5x returns in that short period? Yes, there's, this is a very vague way of saying it because they're weekly candles. You can get more refined, go to the 4-hour windows, and then that's where you're going to really kind of be able to make more moves in shorter intervals, obviously. So that's not going to be as, I guess you would say, you wouldn't have given back a lot of those gains, but still, it all remains. I think this is kind of where crypto is still one of the most bullish things out there for me personally. And I think that as we do look at it, I will remind you guys, this has nothing to do with XRP. It's nothing to do with Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse. XRP is not dead. XRP is not doing anything incorrectly for the most part. This is global macro headwinds.
So shout out to crypto. Mark, we can come back to that. XRP surged to $1.52, up 17.43%. Secured even as the broader market faced pressure. This is a good bit of news. XRP in these dark times. Okay, I don't think there's any volume here, which is weird. But I guess this is a faceless AI video. I'm going to keep it moving on that one. This is XRP news. Holders are being tested right now. Are you prepared? Let's see what she's talking about.
These bros are coming. Hi, my loves. Happy Friday. Happy Crypto Day. Today, our keyword search is going to be Galaxy Digital Holdings.
Galaxy Digital Holdings. Why is this volume so low? Got me. See what she's talking about, though.
These bros are coming in and saying, I would like $34 million worth of XRP, please, for our treasuries. Now, Vivo Power is back at it. Not only do they want that $121 million worth of XRP for their treasuries, they came in and bought Ripple shares. Oh, no. Now, while all this is going down, the Federal Reserve is showing up like a boyfriend during a breakup. He's like, no, I got a new shirt, I got a haircut, and by the way, I want Bitcoin in our reserves. Sorry, bro. Do these guys even know anything about crypto? 95% of all Bitcoin has already been purchased, and I am pretty sure. Hi, my loves. Happy Friday.
So shout out to that about possibly getting to 10,000. Breaking news, the financial reset in U.S. history is here. And XRP just got hinted. This is the most impactful prescription price reset in the history of our country. Trump xr.gov. Okay, that's kind of a stretch, but I'll give you that. This is why you hold spot. Large institutions want you out before they send the price. Yesterday's lows is today's high, up 38% for XRP. Bombshell Ripple dumps the XRPL DEX for Hyperliquid's mind-blowing 20,000 TPS and the ultra-fast 500 MS trades. They can't compete. Is the Ethereum invasion stoppable? Is the XRPL getting replaced? Ripple's jaw dropping plot exposed. Why did XRP drop more than Bitcoin recently? Based on recent market data as of February 2026, XRP experienced a sharp decline. Then Bitcoin amidst a broader cryptocurrency sell-off. XRP plunged around 16 to 24% in a 24-hour period, trading as low as $1.29, while Bitcoin dropped 7 to 13 over the same time. This amplified drop for XRP was largely driven by the liquidation of leveraged long positions, and roughly 46 million XRP derivatives wiped out, mostly bullish bets, creating a feedback loop that forced selling prices to break key technical support like the 144. Overall, the crypto downturn was triggered by microeconomic factors, including President Trump's nomination of Kevin Harsh as the next Federal Reserve chair, which raised concerns about delaying interest rate cuts and a stronger U.S. dollar. Weak job data, rising valuations in precious metals, and a general risk-off sentiment across the market further fueled the exodus from riskier assets like crypto. Additionally, exhausted catalysts for XRP, such as the resolved SEC lawsuit, ETF launches, and expansion like RLUSD, led profit taking and increased volatility with XRP. And this will be on the page, not reading all this. Let's see if there's an actual video here with the hyperlink. So I guess this is just showing us Hyperliquid. Go back over to post. Let's see, where were we? I didn't even know there was a video there. XRP news right now. It's very important. Talking about XRP price prediction breakdown and what just witnessed over the past 24 hours, meaning people in crypto are panicking and those are willing. We'll pick this up on the video side. Let's freaking go. XRP recovery is wild and isn't planning to stop. That was up to 26.28%. Let's go. This is, remember that some people in this space only want to use you and will say what you want to hear to get your attention.
And I think this is the first time I'll say it, but I think XRP is heading to $1,000 by 2030. So for me, it's, a lot of people have been asking for my price targets on XRP, and I think this is the first time I'll say it, but I think XRP is heading to $1,000 by 2030. So for me,
to 1,000, that's crazy. Not even 90 minutes in, and we're already at 20 million for XRP ETFs. Bitwise is nearly at 30% for the day as XRP soars over $1.53. We're on fire today. Definitely pumping like crazy. Let me know what you guys think. I need to check my Bitwise XRP ETF. XRP is actually absolutely flying. 40% from the bottom already. Bears taking risks in real time. Good morning, XRP fam. Just your daily update here. No spikes yet, but the White telling us, the U.S. citizens, to leave Iran be a signal that something is about to happen this weekend. I'll keep you posted. but for now, just trading sideways. That must have been early this morning. That's weird. Ripple just released institutional DeFi blueprint, positioning XRPL as a key system for real world finance with XRP at its core. The network ranks among the top 10 for real world assets and surpassed 1 billion in monthly volume. Let's see if there's an article here. There is not. That's a good image though, low key. Let me snag that image real quick. But let me know what you think. Do you guys think the bottom is in, or do you think there's still some price manipulation going on? Do you think they're going to go back down? Let me know what you think in the comments. Somebody, everybody, anybody. Let's get the comments going. And let me know what you guys think. Anybody, everybody, somebody. And keep it moving. XRP just dropped the institutional DeFi blueprint, while others are scrambling to add compliance. As an afterthought, Ripple embedded it in the protocol level from day one. This is infrastructure going live now. Multi-purpose tokens, MPT, permission domains with compliance tooling, credential-backed, asset controls, batch transactions for efficiency. What's coming Q1 2026, and I'll put this on the page. You guys can read that if you're interested. Amplify ETF XRP sets for greater demand and price appreciation 2026 via FedNow FedWire integration. What? XRP releases institutional DeFi blueprint for XRP, L, and XRP settlements. Ripple publishes institutional DeFi roadmap February 7th, positioning XRPL as the end-to-end operating system for real-world finance, with XRP playing a role in payments, liquidity, and credit markets. XRPL ranked among the top 10 chains for real-world assets and surpassed 1 billion in monthly stable coins. Say word. That's weird. Why did it go back up? Freaking X is going crazy. Just in, Ripple reportedly being evaluated as a possible replacement for the SWIFT system. Mind-blowing 1.5 trillion market. If greenlit projects suggest XRP could soar past 3,000 per token. XRP value increased by 25% today. Congressman Kat, somebody says they've learned shocking news about the Obama Affordable Care Act. Only 7% of Americans actually on Obamacare. Man, what the frick does this got to do with crypto? Breaking news. We're not doing the Epstein. XRP is showing resilience, unique drivers in the current weak market with structural utility on the ledger stay strong. Man, I thought there was a video there. Definitely not there either. So let's actually get to some videos. So this is Crypto Sensei. Let's see what he has.
The crypto market has experienced one of the worst weeks that it has seen in a very long time. We are looking at 30% right now down on XRP in the last 7 days. We're also looking at Ethereum under 2,000, Bitcoin at 66,000. What is actually happening here? I did make a video that came out earlier today addressing what I think are some of the reasons why the market isn't going too well. I'm going to just give you a few of those in this video, as well as catch you up with what's actually happening in Washington. Are we going to be able to get a crypto bill done, or is this going to continue? Let's just jump into this information, guys. I did cover yesterday. Here are some of the reasons why I think the market is crashing here. One of them was President Trump's nominated of Kevin Walsh to the Fed chair to replace Jerome Powell. Walsh is known for supporting higher real interest rates and smaller Fed balance sheets. A lot of people expected the person that Trump was going to put into the Federal Reserve was going to drop rates and allow a lot of creation of money. That money, because rates were lower, people would borrow and put into risk assets like crypto. Now with this new nominee, people are believing that rates are going to be higher for longer and that risk assets, people are now panicking. Maybe panicking is not the right word here, but they are deleveraging out of the crypto market. Also, you did see 2.2 billion was liquidated on February 1st, kind of the Black Sunday 2, the largest single day wipeout since October 2025. Around 165,000 traders were liquidated in this recent session. Over 500 million in Bitcoin positions alone were liquidated. And of course, the institutional outflows and liquidity crisis. Deutsche Bank analysis point to 3 key factors. Of course, the hawkish Fed signals, institutional outflows with thinning liquidity, and stalled regulatory momentum here in the United States. So let's get up to date with what's happening with the regulatory approach here in the United States. Are we going to be able to get a deal done? Here are the most recent clips around that.
Senator Cynthia Lummis, she is the chairwoman of the subcommittee on digital assets. Senator, it's wonderful to have you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. First things first, can you give us an update on when you expect this legislation to happen? You lost a big window, right, after Brian Armstrong from Coinbase complained about the markup.
Well, good morning, Maria. We did lose that window, but Senator Thune, the majority leader, has assured us that even though now we're going to have to defer into the spring, that he will reserve time on the Senate schedule, which is very hard to get, for later this spring. We had scheduled a markup in the Banking Committee, but the day before we had to pull it off the agenda, not because just of what Coinbase had said about it, but because there was other concern. And you just mentioned one of the big ones, and that is the banks and some of the credit unions have some members of the committee concerned that they will lose deposits.
So tell us about this.
All right, so this still hasn't been resolved. Banks are worried that deposits are going to leave and go to, the Coinbases, the upholds, the exchanges that are offering, 3% on stable coins. This really is an innovation problem for banks, right? They haven't innovated over the last few decades, and they're in a position now where people want more for their money. And if you don't have millions of dollars, banks aren't willing to offer you high yield savings accounts. They're just offering you like 0.1%, where people are like, hey, I can go get 3% on my money, over here. I'm going to take my money out of the banking system and put it into this new DeFi system and earn more yield. That is the largest concern that I've heard mentioned by far out of anything else coming out of the bill. So here's Scott Bassett. He was on Capitol Hill the other day, and we had a bunch of clips we showed already, but here it is.
On what you know now, what is your opinion about the importance of having clear rules of the road, market structure legislation in the United States?
Look, I think that it's impossible to proceed without it. We have to get this Clarity Act across the finish line, and any market participants who don't want it should move to El Salvador.
So as a industry, what is the benefit to having this industry embedded in the U.S. economy?
Well, again, as I said, that there seem to be people who want to live in the U.S. but not have rules for this important industry. And we've got to bring safe, sound, and smart practices and the oversight of the U.S. government, but also allow for the freedom that is crypto. And I think it's a balance that is being worked out. It was worked out in the Genius Act, and I'm confident with leadership of people on both sides of the aisle that we can get clarity across the line this year.
Is Judy Shelton. You guys notice that? I didn't notice that the first time I watched the clip, but as you can see, they're still trying to figure this out. Now let me show you what Jungle Inc. is saying. He's connecting some different dots here about Coinbase, and I want to provide some context here. He says the magical leak on Coinbase. Is it a coincidence that the most damaging Jeffrey Epstein documents in years dropped exactly when the banking system finally felt the heat? Last Friday, the Department of Justice released 3 million pages of investigative files under the 2026 Transparency Act. Buried in the data was a bombshell for the crypto world. Jeffrey Epstein was a seed investor in Coinbase. The timing, a strategic reputational nuke. The headlines didn't just happen. They arrived at the peak of a brutal lobbying war between Coinbase and Wall Street over Digital Asset Stability Act. The fight, Coinbase is currently pushing for staking rights that would let regular people earn high interest rewards, usually reserved for big banks. The leak, just as Coinbase CEO was testifying in DC, the Epstein Coinbase connection, a tiny 3 million passive investment from 2024, was highlighted and discovered by the media. The new Epstein playbook. This is a managed leak in action in 2026. You don't need a bribe. You don't need to bribe a politician to win a banking war. You just need to search the Epstein archives for your opponent's name. Assets to liability. Epstein used to be a broker who connected the elite. Today, his files are a library of leverage that legacy institutions use to discipline disruptors. The irony, the same banks and tech giants that socialized with Epstein's for decades are now using his ghost to moralize.
Yeah, Dave, I don't know either, big dog. I don't know what to think anymore. Brother, probably going down. Nothing will surprise me, though. You're right. I don't know what's going on. I tell people all day, every day about possibilities and just for entertainment, but I don't have a clue either, brother. But we'll have to wait and see. So thanks for that, and we'll get back to the video.
Their competition out of the market. The bottom line is, in the world of radical transparency, coincidences like this are usually just information laundering. When the banks can't beat the tech, they burn the person.
Jeffrey Epstein invested into the crypto marketplace known as Coinbase back in 2014, which we now know about thanks to the latest tranche of Epstein files that were released by the Department of Justice. Now, Epstein, in fact, was aware of Bitcoin as early as 2011, and he saw it as an opportunity, as many did. And so that year, he wrote the following in an email. Amir, the Bitcoin idea is brilliant, but I suggest has some serious downsides, as I'm sure you are aware. If you can find time, please call my office. And then some of the email is redacted.
All right. Then he also posted this post here.
Brian Armstrong, Coinbase. I think they learned a lesson about power this week. They thought they were going to get goalie, storm out of meetings, blow up deals. And what happened? What did you notice about this latest Coinbase release? Because, it wasn't like that in release 1, release 2. Why? Why is there so much crypto stuff here? Because they're sending a message. You better get this deal done. You think you're going to get gully with the U.S. government, with the banks. You think you're bad. You think you got a lot of money. They're going to teach you something. We see here the Young Turks talking about it. Crypto scandal. There's going to be more news reporting on this. This is not an accident. This isn't an accident. All of a sudden, we see all this crypto stuff in the Epstein report. It was done on purpose to send a message that you're going to do a deal and you're going to do it quick, or it's going to get a whole heck of a lot worse for you and your entire industry. Best believe that they ain't playing games here. This is strategic. It is planned. Now, yeah, we focus on the Blockstream stuff and the Bitcoin dev stuff. And that was kind of, the behind the scenes lobbying against your XLMs and your XRPs and your Ethereums. Yeah, that was kind of what we focused on. But best believe the general media, they don't know who Blockstream is. They don't care who those people are. They don't know Adam Back. They don't know any of these people. This is all about Coinbase. This is all about Coinbase and making the entire industry look bad and involved with Jeffrey Epstein. That's what they're doing. This is a power play by the big money, by the banks, by the U.S. government, trying to get a deal done, sending a message, you will do a deal on our terms. That's my opinion. That's what we are seeing here. This is no coincidence. Let me know what you think.
And there's still reported to be millions of documents that weren't released. So it does feel like, if you're asking my personal opinion on this, that some of these documents were cherry picked to come out in this dump. And they wanted to make Coinbase and other institutions in the crypto space look bad. I'd imagine there's going to be more to come. What that looks like, we'll deal with it then. But there is some truth to kind of what Jungle Inc. is putting together there. And I wanted to highlight it. All right. So CryptoR says this does not kill the banks. Tim Scott pushed back on one of the biggest fears around crypto market structure. His point was clear. Stablecoins are not banks. Banks use fractional reserves and rely on FDIC insurance. Stablecoins are backed one-to-one with reserves. Crypto firms can pay rewards, but cannot market themselves as banks and must have clear consumer protections. Here's Tim Scott.
take a deep dive, and I'm going to try not to get too wonky on this issue. So let me be clear. Number one, we're not talking apples and apples. Number two, FDIC insurance is something that attracts deposits to our banks, and it should, because it's a powerful tool for good. Number three, stable coins are backed 1-to-1. For every dollar in stable coins, there's a dollar in reserves. In your banking system, for every, it's a fractional system. So when you have a dollar in your savings, you do not have a dollar in reserves. So as we're talking apples and oranges, but here's the point. Number one, allowing for the crypto firms to pay rewards is a good thing. Number two, they cannot advertise as if they were a bank. That is important for consumer protection. And number three, we want to make sure that paying rewards to a crypto balance on your stable coins is tied to something more than just a balance. So we're going to make sure that it doesn't walk and talk and act like a duck, because it's not a duck. So we're going to make sure that the things are different and that the consumer is not misinformed on their decision. Bottom line is simply this: there will not be a deposit flight. We're going to sit down with consumer banks hopefully next week again and have this conversation. The good news is both sides remain at the table. I met yesterday with 2 Democrats who want to get this done. We're going to overcome those hurdles and make sure that America is the crypto capital of the world.
You can keep saying America is the crypto capital of the world until you get this legislation passed. Right now, we just look like a joke. That's my personal feeling. I mean, we keep taking victory laps, crypto capital world. Great. This is the most important step, right? If you don't get this done, we are not the crypto capital of the world. So I would stop.
And that's what I've been screaming too. We are falling behind with these guys back and forth with this Clarity Act, right? Everybody else is getting approvals, getting legislation, getting ready to use, and we're still fighting over yields. We are falling behind. So we will not be the crypto capital of the world if we can't even get the freaking legislation set up. Well, let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think this is hindering us or helping us? I personally think it's hindering, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Somebody, anybody, everybody, let me know. Get back to the video.
I'm saying it until this is across the finish line. Here's the new CFTC chairman, Mike Selig.
What was your takeaway from the meeting at the White House yesterday and this sticking point in terms of banks versus crypto platforms and paying rewards?
Well, I understand that it was a very productive meeting at the White House, and the president's leadership is really critical in getting this legislation across the line. He's been a real advocate of the crypto industry, and I know that we've got a large swath of incumbents that are concerned that some of the legislation could encroach on their lanes. But really, I think this legislation is going to move us all forward as Americans. It's going to create a new standard, the gold standard, if you will, for crypto markets here in the United States. And, these issues are ones to be worked out amongst the Congress and the president's office, but I think we're going to get it across the line.
So when would you expect the timing? Is that a February, March situation, getting it over the line?
We're hoping for that. So thanks to Chairman Bozeman's leadership in the Agriculture Committee on the Senate, we have a bill that's moving through. We have a bill that passed the Clarity Act in the House. And so we just need to get this done in banking. And I think Senator Tim Scott's going to get this thing across the line with the president's help.
And of course, the initiative also outshined the passage of the Senate Agriculture Committee's Digital Commodity Intermediaries Act. Talk to us about that.
Well, there's a number of pieces of legislation here, and really the goal is just to get some clarity. It's been too long with these markets just languishing, and they've fled offshore. Our country's best builders, entrepreneurs, and innovators are really, for the first time, looking at a system where we can have clarity, clear rules of the road, a token taxonomy, so we know what's a security and what's not. And that's going to move these markets forward. That's going to create a new paradigm here in the U.S., and we're really excited to welcome the builders back to the United States.
All right. And then also we have this crypto market structure bill remains near finish line. Senate Democrats held a closed door meeting with Chuck Schumer, describing as very desperate to get the bill passed as crypto PAC Fair Shake builds a $193 million midterms war chest. So here it is, right? If Democrats do not get this bill across the line, they are going to be targeted with hundreds of millions of dollars going against their, against them to their opponents in the midterms. Remember, this Fair Shake is donating to both Democrats and Republicans who are pro crypto. So the ones who are not pro crypto, those will be targeted. Now, what are we getting out of the White House? On Monday, February 3rd, the White House hosted that meeting between banks and crypto firms and to break a months-long deadlock on the market structure bill, but it ended without an agreement. The administration has set a February deadline to resolve this dispute over stablecoin yield provisions between banking and crypto industries. Here's the White House's red line. Patrick Witt, executive director of the Presidential Digital Asset Advisory Committee, stated the White House will not accept provisions in the crypto market legislation that directly targeted President Trump or his family's digital asset business. The administration has labeled these ethics provisions as completely unacceptable. So anything in the bill that were to target President Trump's family crypto business would seem as a red line that no side can cross here. So how is that going to play and come into all of this, right? We do know that President Trump's crypto ties, particularly through World Liberty Financial, has come as a major obstacle as key developments. We just heard this actually last week that a $500 million investment from Abu Dhabi royal family into World Liberty Financial and gave President Trump $187 million to family entities. It was a $500 million investment to buy 49% of World Liberty Financial. World Liberty Financial is now down 30% like XRP and other assets. So I don't know what's going to happen with all this, guys, but it sure feels like there's still a lot to be worked out. And this is part of the reason why the market continues to tumble. Where will the bottom be? Will there be a quick recovery, or will this take some time? That's really the question that still is outstanding. What do you guys think about all of this? I know some of your portfolios are down massively right now. I'm still holding my assets. I did not sell. I'm not trying to time the market. I know we're going to go through some of these dips and periods. Obviously, looking back now, it would have been great to take some profit at $2.20, $2.50, whatever. But timing the market is always something very difficult. You got taxes and all these things that come on the end of that. I'm going to continue to DCA some of the positions that I bought around $1.80, $1.95, and bring those down. But let me know where you guys stand. All right. Thank you so much. If you got any value, please like, share, leave a comment.
So let me know if you guys agree with Crypto Sensei and what he was saying there as well. What is this? No opener. I put money on XRP, losing it. I put money on XRP, losing its gains by day end. It's what XRP does. Really? Opener, you might be right? Because it's weird. It went like crazy. And it is still going up so far. But yeah, I definitely think something's going to happen. There's going to be some kind of weird announcement, and then the price will come back down. It's just kind of how things work. But this is Zach Humphreys. Let's see what Zach has to say.
Okay, XRP Army, we are here to talk about price action. We're here to talk about some important news right now that we have. And of course, this is something we're going to talk about as it relates to the entire market, but specifically, I know so many people interested in how this crypto crash is impacting XRP, what's happening with price action, what are things we're expecting to see happen here. And in particular, the last 18 hours here have been very, very interesting. We'll talk about that, what it means for us moving forward. And of course, analysis here that you really can't find anything else. A lot of people out there screaming from the mountaintops that, XRP is going to $100 by the end of 2025. We don't do that here on the channel. We give you guys real sound information and the ability to make moves in this market. And obviously, we want to do well, but we want to be realistic in our thoughts and how we go about investing in this market. So let's get into some price action here first and foremost. So this is the hourly chart on XRP. We came all the way down, wicked down to 113 And we talked about this yesterday. The likelihood that if Bitcoin fell below 70,000, I said XRP would probably get down into the 110 range. We didn't quite get down there. We might have wicked down right here. We got down to 112. And the verdict's still out in terms of, have we hit the bottom? It's all going to depend on Bitcoin. Now, real quick, we'll come back to XRP, but Bitcoin is bouncing. We came down to $60,000 at our low, and we're just shy of 67,000. We're continuing to see like $6,000 to $8,000 swings in 24-hour periods of Bitcoin, which is just massive volatility right now. And again, as we see that 6 to 8K price, swings in Bitcoin, of course we're going to feel it in the altcoin market. When we look at XRP, like we mentioned, we came down to 112. We're back up to 141 right now. It is relatively stable. XRP is versus some other crypto projects. If you look at XRP, it's down sub 20% in the last week. That's outperforming Ethereum by 10% in the last 7 days. So XRP showing more strength than Ethereum, showing more strength than BNB, showing more strength than Solana, right? It's in line with Dogecoin actually at the moment and some of the other top assets, but it's showing a lot more strength than some of the top assets right here at the top. Again, Ethereum and Solana both down almost 30%, XRP down 20%, and up 4% here today in the last 24-hour period. So as we're looking at this bounce, this is the hourly chart. And this is, a great opportunity to find some interesting entries for spot positions long-term, but also a great opportunity if you're looking to trade, right? If you're looking for short-term opportunities, like if you look right here, XRP bounced pretty significantly, about 8 hours after we bottomed here at 132. And if you pull that up, you're up about 7% on this trade since our XT algo momentum up triggered. If you guys are interested in getting the signals from XT algo, this is my company. I founded in 2023. A great, and you'll be ready to make some moves in the market. So, coming back here and just talking more about where we are right now, guys. And I think, we oftentimes forget, especially during these type of, moments in time and when everything is so brutal and it's bad. And we oftentimes forget what Bitcoin and crypto have done and how resilient they've been over the past decade plus, right? Now, every crypto is not created equal. Obviously, Bitcoin's in a league of its own, but even the top assets like ETH and XRP and BNB, Solana. I mean, hell, Solana came down to $10 last bear market and then ripped to $270 not too long ago, right? And so these assets are resilient. There's volatility going down, but there's that same volatility coming up. So it's like people forget what they invest in during a bear market, but they totally understand what they invest in a bull run. You have to understand that volatility that brings us up is the same volatility that brings us down. It's what creates these assets that are very, very different than stocks, very different than precious metals, right? And you invest in them because it's a hedge, it's different, but also you're looking for those big gains at some point, right? A lot of it is timing. When I look at XRP, it went up, 5 to 6x within a 6-week period. So of course, you're going to experience volatility when you start to see some of that downside risk. But still, I think what you really should be doing here during the bear market is looking at what you own across all of your assets, understanding the risks you're taking, and really devising a plan, because there's no better time to buy assets when they're on sale at a premium price if you have a plan. Yesterday I bought Bitcoin, for example, 4 different times. I bought a little bit XRP 3 days ago at like 165. I get that it's went a little bit lower. But right now, my main focus is building out my Bitcoin strategy, accomplishing my goals in terms of how much Bitcoin I want to own before a certain date that I've set up years ago. And then after that, I start to look at altcoins, right? Start to look at the things at the top like Ethereum, XRP, BNB, and Solana. Those in particular are ones that I want to build out strong positions and already have, but they're different type of bets. right? Understanding that they're not Bitcoin, they're not the same thing. They're far more riskier, right? There's a reason why I want to own them. You know, the two top smart contract platforms, Ethereum and Solana, the two the top cross-border payments in XRP. There's no competition there. BNB is kind of my angle to get exposure to the Asian market. It's kind of like the Bitcoin of that, you know, part of the world. And then obviously, you know, Bitcoin is digital gold, league of its own. So I'm starting there at the top, right? And so you too need to form this plan with your XRP, with Ethereum, with Bitcoin, with whatever it is you hold. And if you got to make some changes, make some changes. I think the worst thing people do is sit there and just, you know, get fearful and look at the chart, and then they end up panic selling or making a bad decision, right? And then when the market rips back higher, they're FOMOing back in. Oh my gosh, I got to get in here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too, right? People sell and think it's going to crash out, and then think they missed out on something, so they panic and get back in, and that's what pumps these prices up and down. But the big thing that brings it down is institution and whales. The whales are colluding and dropping these prices. Let me know what you guys think about that, if you agree or disagree. And let's do another quick video and shut it down.
Everybody, that's what happens when you don't panic sell. You buy the dip and you understand.
Buy the dip, tater chip. Let's go.
That capitulation happened yesterday, meaning they sold more than they had to. They wanted to liquidate those longs. They did. A lot of people had trouble. Billionaires saying they lost billions. But honestly, guys, a bunch of the XRP army, we took it as an opportunity, and you guys made a lot of money because shorts right now are getting liquidated, and some longs are making tremendous amount of money. Obviously, it's not it. We still can have more pain on the streets, but it comes to show that we are rejecting that $1 support, which is good, and he wants to keep going. Drop a like, everybody. What's going on, Oscar Live? It's today. Breaking news. I don't know. It's today. What is today, Oscar? Not tomorrow and not yesterday. XRP community celebrates Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse's birthday. 55 years. Uphold, bird, everyone saying Brad. So put in the comments right now. Happy birthday, Brad. Happy birthday, the XRP daddy, the XRP goat. So let him know. Let him know. Very exciting. You know, we're still going. We're just 2x away from $3 XRP. Feels so good. I'm extremely happy. I'm using BTCC, everybody, because why? Because I told you we were live yesterday. We are giving away 3,000 XRP. First link down below. Join us because you don't want to be too late when the FOMO comes in. I want to give you more money. I'm going to tell BTCC, let's give 4,000 next month. I'm going to do it. We'll see what they say, right? SEC Paul Atkins saying, we are out to harmonize the rules between the SEC and the CFTC. Clarity, innovators and investors, they need it. They need it. It's a 2-minute long, so I'm not going to play it. But honestly, fam, it's just so good. I posted here on my X. Did you buy the XRP dip? It's time to pump 9 hours ago. Breakout confirmed because he said, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. And we did it, man. Even James posting here. Love it. It's exciting, bro. First ledger. Wait, so that means you're bullish? Of course we're bullish. Of course we're bullish, right? This is exactly Brad is basically telling everybody, let's go. The XRP Ledger Q4 report. So we got a report, guys. XRP ETFs reaching 1 billion in asset under management in less than 4 weeks. RUSD market cap breaking free. Real world asset market cap on XRPL up. Average daily transactions up. This is just exactly what you want to hear. And the price keeps rising. I love it. Subscribe to the channel, guys, right now. Turn on the notification bells. And it's just extremely excited to have you once again here. You can tell the bottom that we have right there, 111 XRP yesterday. Kind of crazy. So if you're looking for a place to make your trades and have some XRP positions and get some bonuses, we're also going to find a link down below for BitUnex. So sign up and join me. We got a campaign going on right now, guys, ending soon, but they're going to extend it too. So it's exciting to know what's cooking. And we're inviting you on BitUnex as well. For those who want, we got some pretty good bonuses for you. Sign up, pick your account, deposit, and start killing it, because it's exactly what we want in times like this. And let's look at this, baby. Let's go to the 15 minutes right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is exactly what we wanted. Why? Well, because it's not going to drop all of a sudden and just keep going to zero per se, but have to analyze, look at all these levels that we have. I'm just looking at a few easy ones. I can open up the RSI too. Let's go ahead and bring it here. So we were absolutely oversold, like in the pits of hell oversold. And the people who got in, well done, because you are up and you're making a killing right now with that pump. You're really doing it right now. You're really doing it. It's still going right now. It's still going. We're pumping right now really nicely. And we just got to see where it's going to stop and consolidate for a little bit. So I'm excited, guys. This is good. Plus the XRP gold. It's birthday, so I'm sure that it's going to be a good day for us. Check this out. CoinDesk says, Ripple outlines institutional DeFi blueprint for XRPLs with compliance-focused infrastructure position and XRP as settlement and bridge asset. Let's go ahead and like that. Why? Well, because it's good. You exactly want to see that. And I think XRP is obviously going to be in the top. And I'm not only saying it, it's actually happening. If you go ahead and take a look at the top gainers today, we're going to see XRP in the number 4. We have a bunch of them, including there are HBAR, Aster. Yesterday, right? To make things fair, yesterday XRP was in the top, close to the top, but of the losing side. And I saw it and I'm like, guys, we're down 20% or so. That's why you're seeing 13% now in the last 7 days. Like, we're still down, but not by a lot anymore. If we scroll down a little bit, you're going to see Stellar, One, B-Chain, right? Kronos, Ondo. So I'm happy to tell you that after a massive liquidation event yesterday with 2 billion or so, you saw it, $2 billion plus in liquidations of longs, right? And some shorts too. Now we're coming back up, and this is obviously helping the community gain a little bit of momentum and hope, because what happened yesterday, just to give you an idea, this was the 4th. Today it's 6. So we just recover all of the losses from yesterday. All of the losses, it's back up. It's gone. If you bought anywhere here, well done. You made it. This is exactly what you needed to do. This is exactly what you needed to do, and you did it. Well done. See that? That's crazy. Like, that's exactly why. I mean, and I said it actually. I'm not bragging, but buy the dip now. Buy the dip now. I mean, we said it. It was the 4th, so we're basically back here, right? The 5th was the nastiness. 5th was it hurts a lot. Right now, it's breaking very nicely. So good that, I mean, people can get a little bit of hope and sell. Like, let me just put it this way. If you bought the dip and right now you want to take profits, it's your money. Nobody's going to come to judge you. Well done. You did it. You bought the dip and you sold the pump. Well done. It is exactly how you're supposed to do crypto. I'm just saying, at 152, might as well I keep holding, because I know that it's going to continue rising. It's going to continue going up. See how easy it is? So today is the XRP GOAT's birthday, Brad Garlinghouse. So thank you, Brad. If you're watching, very happy to see you here. Links down below, so you go ahead and get on BTCC, guys, the 3,000 XRP plus 10,000 welcome bonus that you can also get. It's crazy. Also on BitUnex. It's just exciting that we have opportunities that you can enjoy, guys, and we'll make some money before it's too late, before the time comes. All right. So if you're still watching, we thank you so much. I'll see you in the comments. Back in
So thanks for that. Let's do one more video. Do we have another video? We do. That's not a video. Let's see if we can find one more quick video before we shut it down. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you guys think about XRP. Is it over, or are we still on the way down? Let me know what you guys think. And I'm actually in the process of setting up a Caspa video for a couple of minutes. So we'll try to get that going by 2 o'clock. Let me know if you guys are coming back as well. Yeah, well, I guess we can play this. It seems fairly recent.
All right.
Since you guys don't like the automated videos.
The XRP army, I hope, I believe, are waking up to a very sad truth about XRP over the last year. This isn't going to be one of those pump you up, although I can show you right now how to make money in XRP, and I'm going to in this video. But it's not the same narrative as what you're being told all throughout the internet. All
right, I'll put that on there, but I'm not gonna go down this rabbit hole. This guy's probably selling something. We'll pass on that, amigo. Dang it, that's weird. Where's my dang? I guess we'll play this guy with the Barry entry then.
The delay was about regulation. For years, the excuse for the lack of institutional volume on the XRP ledger was a lack of walls. Banks wanted the speed of a public ledger, but the privacy of a vault. As of February 4th, 2026, that mirror has been shattered. While the retail market is distracted by the latest Bitcoin ETF outflows, which just hit $272 million in a single day, a silent rotation is happening. The activation of XLS80 permission domains isn't just an update. It is the death of the private ledger era. From the heart of Switzerland's crypto valley to the halls of Washington under the Genius Act, the infrastructure is no longer coming. I am the calm analyst, and today we decode why Ripple's expansion into Switzerland and the activation of institutional privacy are the two final pieces of a puzzle that is about to change everything for XRP holders. Let's start by looking at the map of global finance. For decades, Switzerland has been known as the vault of the world. But in the digital age, it has evolved into something far more critical: Crypto Valley. The recent announcement that CV Labs has officially welcomed Ripple as an ecosystem partner is not just a PR move. It is a strategic integration. CV Labs is described as the heartbeat of this valley. It is the nexus where founders, massive corporations, and most importantly, regulators sit at the same table to turn innovation into real-world impact. They are integrating a regulated, institutionally trusted blockchain infrastructure directly into the European financial nervous system. But this partnership didn't happen in a vacuum. It coincides with a massive strengthening of Ripple's European footprint. Let's look at the hard data regarding compliance. Ripple has secured its EMI license, electronic money institution, in Luxembourg. This is the gateway to the entire European Union banking sector. They have achieved full crypto asset registration with the UK's Financial Conduct Authority. In total, Ripple now holds more than 75 regulatory licenses globally. Think about that number for a second. While other projects are still hiring lawyers to figure out if they are a security or a commodity, Ripple has already built a 75 license fortress around its operations. This level of preparation forces even the skeptics to respect the strategy. As former CFTC chairman Chris Giancarlo, crypto dad himself, recently admitted, we all have to tip our hat to XRP. Ripple was the poster child for the Gensler-Warren attack on crypto. They took the heat. They stood their ground when others ran. And now in 2026, they aren't just standing. They are the most perseverant and compliant player on the board. This network of licenses means one thing for us: more rails. And more rails mean more utility for XRP to run on. Now we need to talk about the competition. For a long time, the narrative has been that the Canton network is the XRP killer. Why? Because Canton offers privacy by design. Institutions like JP Morgan don't want their trade secrets or client data visible on a public ledger. That is a fact, and that is why they built private chains like Kexus. But Ripple didn't ignore this. They solved it. With the activation of the Permission Domains Amendment on the XRP Ledger mainnet, Ripple has officially bridged the gap. We now have controlled environments living directly within the broader XRP Ledger ecosystem. Think about what this means. Canton offers privacy, but isolates liquidity. Old XRP Ledger offered liquidity, but lacked privacy. The new XRP Ledger post-upgrade offers both. This isn't just a software patch. It is built on top of the XLS 70 credential standard. This allows financial institutions to issue verifiable credentials, KYC AML, and create permission DEXs and permission lending protocols right on the public chain. They can now restrict access to their pools, ensuring they only trade with compliant entities, while still settling on the lightning-fast, neutral rails of XRP. So, is Canton the XRP killer? Ripple has effectively neutralized that threat by becoming the most well-rounded solution on the market. We are watching the first permission domain go live in real time. This is the final piece of the puzzle that allows tokenized assets, from real estate to bonds, to flow freely yet compliantly. The choice for banks is no longer public versus private. The choice is now simply the XRP ledger. Money goes where it is treated best. Successful store closure. On February 3rd, we saw a signal that implies a massive shift in sentiment. US-listed Bitcoin ETFs saw $272 million in net outflows in a single day. Meanwhile, XRP investment products quietly attracted nearly $20 million in inflows. Why? Because the market is suffering from Bitcoin fatigue. The drama, the reliance on endless marketing, and the volatility are pushing smart money toward utility. Matt Hamilton said it best. Bitcoin developers literally created the XRP ledger 15 years ago to build a better Bitcoin. And this brings us to a fascinating piece of history involving David Schwartz and Vitalik Buterin. Years ago, Vitalik stayed on Ripple's CTO's couch, pitching the idea of smart contracts on Layer 1. Ripple rejected it back then. Why? Because they knew it would destroy transaction speed and spike fees, exactly what happened to Ethereum. David chose efficiency. Vitalik chose complexity. But today, with the EVM sidechain, XRP has captured the best of both worlds. It has the speed of the ledger and the programmability of Ethereum. This is why the odds on Polymarket for XRP flipping Ethereum's market cap in 2026 have risen to 50%. So what does this mean for your portfolio? We often hear about a $10 XRP, which would turn 1,000 XRP into $10,000. That is a conservative start. But if we look at the scarcity models and the institutional inflows we just discussed, the minimum target shifts to $27. That's $27,000 for every 1,000 XRP. The bullish scenario pushes past $50. The super bullish scenario, where scarcity truly kicks in due to ETF buy pressure, could align us with $100. The AI models suggest we are on track for this scarcity in 2026. But this only happens if the utility rails are ready. And as we proved in Section 1 and 2, They are. Words matter in Washington. President Trump has made it clear. No central bank digital currency in America. He views it as communist money, a tool for government overreach and control. But does this mean the U.S. is staying with paper and old bank wires? Absolutely not. Under this new legislative framework, the U.S. is not building a Fed coin. Instead, it is empowering the private sector to develop U.S. digital dollars in the form of stablecoins. But let's look at the reality from a technical perspective. Whether the Fed issues it, CBDC, or Ripple issues it, stablecoin like RLUSD, the underlying features remain the same. Programmability, money that only moves when certain conditions are met. Clawback features, the ability to recover funds in case of fraud. Global reach, settlement in seconds, not days. This is why the infrastructure Ripple has built for over a decade is so vital. The Fed may not issue a CBDC, but they are creating the regulations that allow stablecoins to act as the primary medium for global payments. And where will these trillions of digital dollars run? They need rails that are regulated, transparent, and institutionally trusted. The XRP ledger is the answer. We are moving away from the managed money of China's model and toward a private sector-driven digital powerhouse in the West. Stable coins are the bridge that connects the old financial system to the new digital reality. And with the permission domains we discussed earlier, these digital dollars can now flow safely through the XRP ledger without ever touching non-compliant hands. From the Crypto Valley in Switzerland to the Genius Act in Washington, the rails are being laid down. The privacy barriers have been broken with XLS 80, and the institutional floodgates are beginning to creak open. Is XRP going to flip Ethereum? The data says the odds are 50-50. Is scarcity coming in 2026? The AI models say we are right on track. But at the end of the day, this isn't about luck. It's about being on the right side of history. It's about recognizing that the better Bitcoin was built 15 years ago, and it's finally ready to take its throne. Don't let the noise of the day steal your vision for the decade. Stay patient, stay positive, and remember, we don't just hope for wealth, we plan for it. In a market fueled by emotion and noise, we thrive on data and composure. Remember, haste leads to loss, while calm analysis leads to victory. Thank you for your trust.
So shout out to the com analyst and that information, and TVR for you, TV for URI. Yes, Stronghold's actually doing a little something. So definitely keep an eye on that. But as he mentioned, like I said previously, I think XRP will flip Ethereum, right? It's always one of those weird things nobody saw coming, and then it happens, especially with this price push from what we've seen today. Today was a serious run up. So let me know what you guys think about XRP. On the 5-minute, looks like we are bearish. I mean, 15-minute, we're bearish. Let's go to the 2-hour. 2-hour, we're still very bullish and building volume. But I guess we can shut it down for the day. Plus, I need to get this Caspa thing set up. So join us back at 2, maybe 2:05 for a Caspa update. But thanks for joining. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. It's your main man, BTM, signing out. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining, and see you guys soon for the Caspa update. This is your main man, BTM, signing out. Miners out.